Hey guys, it's Breb. How's it going? Welcome back to Raincode. The last time we did some investigation of the Nailman and his past cases, and this time we are going to jump into what is most likely just some kind of like mystery labyrinth situation. We gotta go save Yako, and I'm imagining that it's going to get us into the whole thing. I've kept the stream up, I've not closed it yet. Cool. Just leave my stream open all the time so that you can watch anytime that I go live. That's a good idea. Even if I go live at like 4 in the morning and like start the stream with like a really loud bit on purpose because it'll be funny. And then wake up everyone in your house. I don't stream at 4 in the morning though, because well, normally I don't. I did that one other night, which, like, actually I don't think it got to 4 in the morning. Or maybe it did, I don't remember. That was such a long stream, though. Alright. By continuing ahead, it'll not be possible to return here for some time. Continue? Yeah. Flynn. I'm gonna have that stupid copy pasta in my head for like fucking years. It's just gonna be in the back of my brain. I was watching the iShow Speed stream thing and went to Twitch and boom, lightning. Cool. That situation's kind of funny. I heard about that on Twitter. I don't really know who that is, other than the fact that they're a streamer.
It's about time.
But that's kind of funny what happened there. And if you don't know what happened there is he flashed his cock by accident, I guess.
Hey, wait! You said I had 3 hours, huh? My watch says I still got 5 minutes!
Hey, Yako.
You need to get your watch repaired.
Damn.
Oh dear. The watchmaker is currently detained as a suspect. Just throw away that piece of trash then.
That's not how justice is done, man.
Besides, you're out of time anyway. Take him away.
Oh yeah? Well, we know who the killer is.
Wait!
Definitely.
Yuma! I knew you'd save me!
And you are?
My name is, Yuma Cocohead, and I am a master detective in training.
I was the one investigating the Nailman murders.
Oh, I see. So, you're the one who interfered with our work at the clock tower.
Yes.
Well, I will honor your courage for confessing and turn a blind eye to that incident. You must drop this case. If you do, we will leave without pursuing any further action. That'd be the ideal solution for all of us. What do you say?
I say, fuck you, bro.
Yuma, think carefully about this.
I know who the killer is.
Solving the case is good and all, but think about my well-being, please?
Yako, we need to solve the case.
Dropping the case would end this peacefully, but still.
Please! Get my dad back from them! Please!
Imagine his dad turns out to be the killer the whole time, and it's just like... That would be a crap ending to this whole case. I'm gonna turn my AC on. I meant to do that before hitting live, but then I hit live before turning it on. So I need to get up and do that. Sorry. I'm just gonna hit A.
You may be a trainee, but you are still a detective. Once you have accepted a job, you must finish it.
I can't. can't back down now. The Nailman killings haven't been solved yet. I will find the truth. Huh?
Oh, you've said it now! There's no pulling out of this one anymore.
Then our deal is off.
Did you know that wearing headphones leaves a dent in your head? I don't think that's quite true. But if it is, oh well, I guess I have a dent in my skull.
He comes with us. This is for directly interfering with our work.
Probably had,
and bringing strife to Khan War.
probably had a few of those anyway, so.
Please, wait! Before you go!
I don't like earbuds because I don't like the feeling of things inside of my ears.
Please listen to what I've discovered while investigating the past Nailman killings.
I have one right where my headphones rest. I think you're wearing your headphones too tight, because I don't have one, and I've been wearing headphones for years.
You investigated the previous killings. We handle all the information for those cases. Now that they're closed, there's nothing left at the crime scenes.
Or maybe the entire, like, maybe my entire, like, skull is flat. So, like, I don't notice the dent in my skull because it's just all dented. That's also possible. That I just have a flat head.
I have no time for your lies.
From all the brain damage that I've given myself over the years.
The Peacekeeper report didn't say anything about the cause of death.
Who needs drugs to damage my brain? I just slammed my head into a wall.
All of the victims were strangled to death, weren't they? I suspect this fact hasn't been made public.
I don't actually slam my head into walls. And I don't recommend slamming your head into walls.
How did you know that?
So the cause of death was kept under wraps. I hope you see now. My investigation is legitimate.
I just played Ultra Despair Girls and it was disturbing. Yeah, there's lots of messed up parts of that game. Like just the whole evil kids thing is kind of already a little messed up, and Chapter 3 is weird. Chapter 3 is probably the most disturbing part of that game, but, you know. I like how there's, the one girl who, like, pretends to be disabled. That's messed up. That's insanely messed up. Hated Chapter 4. I think Chapter 4 is the chapter that focuses on Nagisa, if I remember correctly. And Chapter 4 of that game is all about how, like, his parents forced him to do all these things. Well, I mean, the stuff you learn about him during Chapter 4 is, like, all about how, like, his parents forced him to study into, like, the night and, like, just, yeah. Basically, drive himself insane, trying to live up to their insanely high expectations for him, which is just ridiculous.
Please, let me continue. I will catch the true culprit.
I don't know.
Although I could be
where you obtained
misremembering
that
what
information.
chapter is which, because it's been a while since I played that game.
However, it appears that you must be arrested as well.
Pretty sure 3 is the one that focuses on Kote to Go and has the, like, not gentle, anything but gentle scene, and that's awful. What happened to Kotoko is awful, and like the worst thing a human can do to anybody.
Huh?
You are suspected of espionage. I believe an interrogation is in order. Take him away.
What? Wait, please listen to
Right,
me!
getting arrested again. I just looked at your Instagram and saw Marvin. Cool. I haven't posted on Instagram in a while.
Almost had it, but got too carried away, rookie.
I haven't posted on either of my Instagrams in a while. I have two, one's public, one's private. And I have not used it in forever. The last time I posted on social media, on my private one, is May of 2022. And the last time I posted publicly is, I think it was slightly more recent than that. November of 2022. Yeah, haven't made a single post this entire year. Yeah, I barely use social media, man. Insta, I already thought your interface was clunky, and somehow you've made it clunkier since I last used your thing. Like, I tried to tap the arrow like 4 times to switch accounts, and it kept recognizing that I was clicking somewhere else, which is great. Or tapping somewhere else, I guess, because it's a touchscreen.
Worry not. When you're in trouble, say my name.
Halara, please help me.
Halara Nightmare shall rush to your aid.
That's right! Halara! Please help! Halara Nightmare!
It appears you require the aid of a great detective.
She's gonna charge me like fucking $1 billion for this?
Halara, you came for me!
Yeah, as I said I would.
God damn it. God damn it.
You committed acts of violence
Halara, you came for me! My brain is cursed.
against the Amaterasu Corporation peacekeepers. Not once, but twice.
Sorry! I promised to give him a stern lecture after this. Can we please keep things on the down low? Mr. Seth, are you alright?
Who do you think
Yako, don't
we
suck up to
are?
him.
In this town,
You are nothing but an audience. The resolution is premiering.
I love her. Or them, sorry. Why do I keep saying her?
But to you,
Me? I'm the lead guy here?
I've set the stage for you to solve the case. The time has come for you to risk it all.
I don't know why, but Halara gives me the vibes of someone who was born female, and is now non-binary, identifying, and, like, tries to make themselves look more androgynous, rather than somebody who was born male. But we don't know their born gender, and even if we did, I shouldn't refer to them as that, because that isn't their gender identity. Although we don't actually know their gender identity because Yuma's too much of a bitch to ask pronouns. I love the one peacekeeper holding the microphone. Yeah, it's a pretty good bit, honestly.
As a detective, expose the true culprit.
What's going on?
I liked that one scene from the last episode, or maybe it was 2 episodes ago, where the Peacekeeper was going back and forth to, like, to make the megaphone face different directions as Seth was addressing the crowd of Peacekeepers.
I don't know why I was brought here. Can I go home?
So that's what you meant about setting the stage. I mean, Halara did suggest the real killer was among the people at the church.
I can't hear the word among without going, Among Us! Among Us! Oh my god, Among Us! Sus! Among Us! You know?
And now I have to point them out here?
Hey, Yuma, are you sure you got this? Are you really sure?
Earlier I was playing, a little bit of Salmon Run, and every time I saw a stinger, the back of my brain went, Sting a Flynn!
There's no room to mess up here, you know?
Well...
My brain needs to be purged. Like somebody needs to, like, find the Men in Black, memory eraser and just fucking use it on me, because I do not deserve to be able to think.
What do I do? I haven't gathered my thoughts yet. It's not like I can just ask for more time here.
Chapter 4 just came out and it was okay. Of Ban. I have not played any of the Garten of Ban games. I watched Manly Badass Hero play the 4th one recently. I watched Manly Badass Hero play all of them, technically. And I don't need to play them myself, is how I feel about that series. There's nothing all too wrong with it. It's clearly made just to make money in a lot of ways, which isn't even that bad of a thing. People get way too up in arms about that all the time. Like, I don't know, the world is capitalistic and awful, so, like, sometimes you need to do things to make money. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I watched Jack. I watched Mark, Jack, and Jack for the chapters. Oh, okay, so chapter 1 and 2 you watched Mark, and then chapter 3 and 4 you watched, Jacksepticeye. Got you. I used to watch them a lot. I don't watch them as frequently as I used to anymore, though. Anyway, I have no plans on playing Garten of Ban except for, like, maybe I'll do, like, the first one as a joke for a stream, like, upcoming if I really care to. I probably don't care to, but that one is free supposedly, is what I heard in a recent thing of me watching Varg Skeletor play the first Ban game. I'm not seeing the first one in my search results, it's just showing the other 6. Garten of Ban. Where's the first one? 1. There it is. I had to actually, like, hit enter to find this. It didn't show up in the pre-listed ones. It is free. The first one is free, and it's also apparently only, like, 15 minutes long or something. So I could play the first Garten of Ban as a joke, and it would cost me nothing, other than my own, like, mental well-being, because those characters hurt my brain. I just rewatched Mark's playthrough of The Forest. I like that game. That game's neat. Okay, I'm gonna jump back into doing game here. I should play the final chapter. Oh, that'd be funny. Play the first one and the last Ban, and that's it. That's the only ones I play. That'd be so funny. Because, like, I'd be missing so much context of the middle. Well, at least in terms of having direct experience with them, because I did watch them, but I was also watching them while doing other things. I took so long the music stopped looping. Get this fly out of my face, bro. Hate bugs, man. They're, like, always up in my biz. I'm fine with bugs when they're not, like, flying around my face and annoying me, but, like, bro, these little fruit flies that keep, like, coming to my room and, like, getting in my face and stuff, like, dude, I hate them. Damn, you miss tired of your shit. Yeah, he's tired of me talking about Garten of Banban. Fuck off, bug. You can't even see it on the camera because it's so small, so it just looks like I'm losing my mind. But I'm not. I can see this. What do I do? I haven't gathered my thoughts yet. It's not like I can just ask for more time here.
Yeah, I don't think so. Laura seems to know the answer already, so why don't you just pay up for it?
Schizophrenia exists. I'm not schizophrenic. There's just a bug.
But that would waste all of Halara's efforts setting the stage for me.
Huh. So you want to solve this all on your own?
Man hallucinates fruit fly and goes insane on stream.
If you can't ask Halara for help, why don't you try asking me instead?
I don't exist at all. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's a really hilarious idea. A streamer who streams and, like, hallucinates their chat. And so, like, whenever anyone actually joins chat, they're, like, reacting to messages that aren't actually there.
You mean the mystery labyrinth?
Yup.
The peacekeepers aren't just gonna stand by and listen to your deduction here. Things are just gonna escalate, and it might even end up with more deaths.
Oh no.
And that's where yours truly comes in. We have the information we need from the investigation. All that's left is to solve the case with the mystery labyrinth.
Woo!
But if I do that...
There's always a price to pay. When I read the soul of the true culprit, the mystery labyrinth created by the culprit is destroyed. But as a price, the source that created the mystery labyrinth also perishes.
Which means the real culprit will die.
Huh? This killer's a total psycho who's already killed many others. Why do you care so much?
I think I just got the fruit fly. I think I did. I think it landed on my face and I smacked it and it died.
You wanna
Not
solve
sure
this
though,
case, Master?
'cause I didn't see
What
the
about your
corpse.
promise to that kid?
What's wrong, Yuma? If you don't hurry, the peacekeepers will wake up.
What is this nonsense about a resolution? I don't have time for this.
Something resolution. Whoa. I don't remember the lyrics to that song. I think it's a Beatles song that I was thinking of. I know it's revolution in the song and not resolution, but I was being funny. And I didn't remember enough of the lyrics to even, like, make the joke, so that's cool.
I will make you listen by force if needed. That is my job as assistant.
Well, you better hurry, or things will start getting bloody around here.
Fine.
That's the spirit. Well, Master, are you mentally and physically prepared?
Mentally, yes. Physically, absolutely not. Actually, maybe mentally not either. My body is not Reggie. Gotta love magical girl transformations.
What?
Did Halara see that as well? Just like, they reacted to it. Oh, we dragged Halara in as well.
What's this? Has time stopped?
Halara, how are you moving right now?
Yuma, what happened? Is this someone's forte?
Shinigami, Halara's in here too.
Not so.
You knew this would happen?
Master, you used your coalescence, remember? Your ability isn't a
Your
one-way
ability.
street.
Shh.
You have the power to borrow someone's abilities, and you share yours as well. Halara wandered into the mystery labyrinth because of that effect, I think.
You're not even sure?
Who?
I think it is true that is his forte then.
This'll take too long to explain, but
Because she did call it my ability just now.
So I'll make that roll over the faster.
Well, this is the mystery labyrinth. It's like a alternate reality where, we, like, investigate the case, and, like, if we solve it correctly, the killer dies. Wait, what? We're gonna kill somebody here? Yeah, I mean, we're not killing them. I mean, like, it's like causality that's killing them. You know, just, some unknown force. Actually, more accurately, Shinigami. Like, directly killing them. But, you know, whatever. Well, directly, indirectly killing them. Or indirectly, directly killing. Because, like, you just kill them here and then they die in the real world.
What should I do? I'll need to explain everything, won't I?
Yes.
We don't have much of a choice now. No point in keeping secrets
Oh my
here.
god, why am I so itchy? Ah! Oh my god! Everything about my head is itchy right now. Like, oh my god, ah! Ah, I'm sorry, ah!
Halara? Let me explain. And that's how this mystery labyrinth involving the Nailman killings materialized.
I see. So mystery labyrinths are materialization of mysteries themselves, and the truth is encased deep within. I appear to have underestimated you. This is an amazing forte. I must admit, it's quite a superhuman power. As far as I know, no other ability comes close to this. Who are you? I refuse to think you're just a trainee detective.
To be honest, this isn't my ability.
Before you continue, tell me, who is that woman beside you?
Death God?
Her name is Shinigami. I think the simplest way to describe her is that she's a guide for the Mystery Labyrinth.
That's me! I'm also Master Scaracute Mentor.
On to my next question.
You're just gonna ignore me?
You mentioned the Nailman case just now. I had heard the rumors about that around town. Why are you investigating that case?
Huh? What are you talking about? We were just investigating the Nailman case together.
The Nailman. We were pursuing that case together?
Yeah? You were there for that.
You don't remember? There was a young boy who wanted to hire a detective and you turned him down.
I do remember you received a request from a child about some case, and you ended up seeking my help. The cost for hiring me was 5,500,800 yen.
What?
You remember the exact amount.
So you remember all that, but you didn't remember the fact that it was the Nailman.
But I can't remember what the case involved. I do vaguely recall investigating something.
Oh, it's probably some effect of the Mystery Labyrinth, because Halara got brought into it, but she seemed to have already known the answers behind the case before getting dragged in here. So she probably got her memory partially wiped or something by the labyrinth itself, so that she doesn't, like, give me the truth just immediately.
My mind is clouded. I don't remember exactly what was being investigated or what was discovered.
Could that be?
Yeah, it's because of the Mystery Labyrinth.
Okay, cool.
The Mystery Labyrinth is a fortress protecting the truth, so outsiders usually can't reach it. If someone did happen to wander in, their memories of the case would be locked away. Though, if you have a pact with me, you wouldn't be affected.
Ah,
But I guess that part of the pact can't be shared.
that sucks.
This is the Mystery Labyrinth's defense mechanism, then. It makes sense for a vault that protects its treasure, the truth, to have a significant level of security.
Yep, totally not strange at all. Halara here sure is smart.
Halara.
She's been calling you that all this time, and, like, now you get to react to it.
Oh, don't mind her. She gives people random nicknames.
Anyway, since my memories of the case have been taken away, I will provide a supporting role for your investigation.
Supporting role?
Great.
As long as we're in here, I will act as your assistant. Well, that's the same as our original agreement.
Yep.
That means we can't rely on Halara's detective skills to blast through this dungeon.
Because it wouldn't be a game if we did.
That's unfortunate, but it's still nice to have an ally.
Hey, Master, before we head into the Mystery Labyrinth, let's do that thing.
Huh? Why? What thing? What?
Huh? What thing?
Master, are you ready to give your life for the truth?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, I gotta do the... this weird song and dance. Or I get the sword or whatever. It's so weird. Jesus Christ.
Well, this world is just full of surprises. I assume that sword is used to cut down enemies interfering with your progress through the Mystery Labyrinth?
You're right. It's a special sword that can interact with things here.
I better materialize the solution keys I got during the investigation, too.
Oh. So weird.
That was a lot. Here
I
you go.
wiped that part, these two pieces of this process out of my brain, because of course I did.
Do you have to vomit them out every time?
Yes.
What? Should I use a different hole instead?
I mean...
Sorry, please, don't mind her.
Jesus.
Alright, we're all set. Now, let's unriddle this mystery labyrinth. Our target is the true culprit who preys on the truth.
I understand that progressing through this mystery labyrinth will allow us to obtain the truth. But what happens to us if we can't find it?
We'd be lost, wandering around here forever.
But as long as we reach the truth, it doesn't matter how much time we spend here.
Oh, I forgot to mention this, but there's a time limit for solving the mystery labyrinth.
Oh, what?
There's a limit to how long you can stay in here. Stick around too long and your soul will leave your body behind. Your soul will wander until it's eventually absorbed by the mystery labyrinth, and you vanish entirely. In other words, you die.
Great.
Why are you laughing? You should have told me this a long time ago!
Now relax, quit whining. A detective is bound to die anyway. Isn't that right, Hellara?
It's no different from our usual line of work. A detective's life is always on the line.
I mean, maybe not always, but I mean, we're all gonna die anyway, so eh.
See? Listen up, Master. You might learn something.
You're taking this awfully well, Hellara. What's this?
They seem to represent the 4 crime scenes. I assume that solving all 4 will allow us to progress.
Oh, I see.
You see? Master, this is your job. So what's first? How about starting with the clock tower, since it was the first one you investigated?
If the numbers are set chronologically, then the clock tower would be the 4th locked room mystery.
First off,
I'm gonna check the scene at the clock tower first. Let's go once you're ready. The clock tower crime scene is the 4th locked room. Let's hurry, Master!
Are you going to the 4th locked room?
Okay, ooh, doll. Yes. What the hell? What the hell's that ooh-woo voice?
This is an exact replica of the clock tower crime scene. Shinigami, you didn't recreate it with your powers, did you?
No, I can only do that when I hit you so hard in the head you almost died.
Char's gone for a little bit. I just found out I'm in the top 10% of my state, so I can win big scholarships. That's cool. I never looked into getting scholarships, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get any anyway, because I was, like, very mediocre in school. Smart enough to do most things pretty easily, but, like, I don't know. I wasn't the smartest kid in the smart kid class, but I was at least in the smart kid class. And that's about it. And I had no work ethic and every other reason. And even if I had looked into getting scholarships, I 100% doubt that, I would have kept them, because I would have fucked off in college and then lost the scholarship and then went, oh, well, now I can't pay the tuition. Great. So I just never bothered. I just went to community college, and that's much less expensive than regular college, but I didn't even finish my degree, so I paid like $6,000 out of my inheritance money that I had, and got nothing out of it because I didn't finish the degree.
Looks to me like the crime scene materialized in the labyrinth on its own.
Biggest waste of time and money that I've ever done, probably. Probably wouldn't have been a waste of time and money if I finished it, but you know.
The fourth locked room is the latest chronologically, correct?
I won't exactly say that it was a waste of time, though, because I still had a good experience for the most part. I just didn't like being there, for a few different reasons. The people were nice, most of my classes were fine. I don't like having to do real work, and I have an aversion to hard work, which is why I want to try to be a streamer, because then I can get by doing the bare minimum for the rest of my life, and yada yada. And I'm gonna shut up and play the game.
That's right. And this is also what got me involved in the Nailman killings.
What are the details of the case? Try to tell me as concisely as possible.
I need to be a better version of myself, but I am so, like, against changing for whatever reason.
The crime was a locked room murder inside the storage room of a clock tower. In the middle of the room was a woman's corpse covered in countless nails.
Which means that's the corpse.
Yeah, there were also lots of dolls nailed to the walls. It looked just like one of those bizarre crime scenes left behind by that Nailman guy from the urban legend.
Hence the Nailman killings. From the look of it, the door was locked from the inside.
And I don't know why I always jump into comparisons of myself to others. Like, anytime anyone tells me anything, I'm just like, yeah, well, about me. And that's not good for me, and it's also like it could probably get annoying for some people that I'm always talking about my experiences and self or whatever.
Yeah, it was locked until the body was discovered.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop
There's only
thinking
one window, and its shutters were down as well.
about myself.
I see. So the shutters were locked too.
Yeah.
This is the third floor of the clock tower. It's too high up to jump from here.
So it really is a locked room mystery.
Only because the shutter closes when the shutter goes down. They could have gotten out the window.
If this is a locked room, aren't we stuck in here too? Oh no! Master! You're trapped unless you solve this mystery! Otherwise, you'll run out of time and your soul gets snuffed out! You better hurry!
Hey!
I think the time limit is figurative rather than literal.
I see. So that's how to make the questions appear.
I could be wrong.
I'm surprised you're so calm after seeing that.
Like, I think it's like there's a time limit for Yuma sort of thing, but there's not a time limit for the player, but I could be wrong. Where did the culprit flee from?
Here.
Probably the window.
It has to be here. The culprit must have escaped through the window.
And your reasoning?
Because it's the only thing that you can lock from the outside.
When I arrived at the scene, the window shutters were closed. It was wet underneath the window, but I could tell it was already starting to dry.
Which means the window was open not too long ago.
It's likely the culprit escaped through the window and closed the shutters on the way out.
Is it possible to close the shutters from the outside?
You don't even need to close them yourself. If you just don't put them up all the way, they'll fall.
Yes, this style of shutter automatically locks, so if you let go of the shutters at the right height, its momentum pulls it down. And once down, it locks all on its own. In other words, the culprit held up the shutters while moving outside. Once they let go, it automatically locked.
In that case, let's try leaving this locked room in the same way.
Right, let's try it.
The Nailman killings have already been solved.
Not true.
Is he that peacekeeper?
Yep.
It's a mystery phantom! The people covering up the case in the real world are manifested like that here to stop us!
You think the culprit really escaped from here? This high up?
Yes.
If you fall, you die. Why don't you give it a try?
Help!
Oh no.
Hey, don't drag me down with you.
We can't leave the guests behind, Halara. It would be downright unmannerly. It's so simple.
Dealing with continuous attacks. Press the correct button when you think you have the correct answer to the questions the mystery phantom throws at you. Attacks are gonna keep coming, but be careful. You'll take damage if you avoid all assailing assaults.
Yuma, the mystery labyrinth is a manifestation of a mystery. So solving it will get us out of this, right?
I think so!
The culprit wouldn't have fallen out of the window like we did. They would need a tool to get up and down.
A tool?
Yep.
You should have found something during the investigation.
The rope.
I was helping you, after all. You must have seen the answer with your own eyes. Try to remember.
Master, concentrate.
This must be it!
That's it! We found the burnt remains of that rope in the incinerator at the church. The culprit had used that rope to escape through the window.
What traces did the rope leave behind? That one.
The nail that was stuck in the doll under the window had some rub marks on it. The culprit must have tied the rope there. That's why those nails have been hammered in below the
I forgot
window.
about that detail, but that makes sense.
It wouldn't be possible to climb down a rope simply hooked onto a window. Unless you've had special training for it.
Rope was shaped like a ladder.
There's no way an amateur could manage it. That can't be how things went down.
In that case, it couldn't have been an ordinary rope. It must have been...
What's that? I can't hear you!
So it was a rope ladder.
Don't worry, I'm right here with you. In spirit, anyway.
There we go.
Ow! We're alive, I think.
Yuma, are you okay?
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. You saved me, Halara.
Correct. It's all thanks to me. Money well spent, no?
Well, it was a lot of money.
Come on! Are you two just gonna keep staring at each other all day? Let's get out of this locked room!
Right.
So this is the rope ladder in question. It certainly would help you escape. The details of the case are still unclear to me. Was this found in the church's incinerator?
Yes.
That's right. It didn't concern me at the time, but it makes sense now. The rope can be folded in the middle, and then the ends can be connected together.
Ah.
And that's how they made a rope ladder.
And then at the bottom, they would just untie the other side that was attached, like, and then just pull it down.
What makes you so sure it was used here?
The nail under the window showed signs of friction from a rope, and had some yellow fibers on it. A clergy member showed me the rope's burnt remains, and I noticed it was the same yellow color. And there were footprints on the ground below the window of the clock tower, facing the wall. Thinking about it now, these were clearly signs that someone climbed down the rope ladder and landed there.
Wait, wasn't the rope ladder hitched on that nail? How did they get it down from the bottom?
The culprit could have cut it one rung at a time as they descended. By the time they reached the bottom...
Yeah, it was two separate pieces.
It would have been one long single rope, which they could easily pull down.
The window's shutters fell due to its weight and locked automatically, completing the locked room.
Yep, that's a stellar deduction. Major props. To me for training you!
Thanks, Shinigami.
The culprit used that rope ladder to escape the clock tower. What of it?
Back!
That doesn't change our verdict at all. The watchmaker is the culprit.
No.
Master, we'll kill the mystery phantom blocking your path!
Yeah!
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. Okay.
These deductions of yours are unnecessary. It's clear who the culprit is. The watchman.
It's gotta be the Fear Heights.
Maker was nearby at the time of the crime. The watchmaker was also at the scene.
I tried to duck that. It didn't
And
work.
he had a hammer for the nails. In other words, he committed the crime. After committing the crime, just as you deduced, he created a locked room and escaped via the rope ladder.
There we go. How many mystery labyrinths have you done? This is the second one I'm doing.
The watchmaker is afraid of heights.
There's only one mystery labyrinth per case, and we're on the chapter 1 case, so.
He
Or I guess I don't know that there's only one per case. I'm just assuming that's how it works. The mystery labyrinths are this game's equivalent of Danganronpa Trials, so I'd imagine there's only one per chapter.
So it's impossible for him to have committed the crime. He's not the Nailman.
Damn you!
You said these mystery phantoms try to cover up the case, right? Which means the Peacekeeper Seth is trying to do just that.
I don't know why, but it's clear the Peacekeepers are involved with this case.
Perhaps it is connected to Kanai Ward's ultimate secret. All the more reason to seize the truth. Let's go.
Right.
Jeez, who's the protagonist here?
Us? Still? Because we have learning to do, I guess, or something?
By the way, Yuma, about your sword. Does it only work on cues and mystery phantoms?
For the most part, yes, but I think no.
The solution blade works against anything in the mystery labyrinth. So don't cut your allies by mistake, Master.
You could have told me that sooner.
Oh, cool.
Can I use that sword?
Technically, probably yes.
Ooh, so sorry. Only Master is able to use it because he made a pact with yours truly.
Spoilers for V3 Chapter 1. I just realized how disturbing Kaide Akamatsu's execution was. Yeah, that one's a little messed up. I mean, they're all a little messed up, but that one's... yeah. From what I remember of that, it's at least a little fucked.
You may be under the effects of coalescence, but you're just an extra here, Lara. So, no, you can't use the solution blade.
Halara just wants to be the game's main character.
I was merely curious. Regardless, it's best I act as support, since I don't have any memories of what happened.
I mean, if you did, you'd just, like, be like, oh, no, it's this guy right here.
Let's return to the case. Assuming the watchmaker isn't the culprit, do you have any notion of who is?
No.
I do.
Okay, apparently Yuma knows more than I do at this moment.
During the investigation, you claimed one of the people at the church is the
Oh,
culprit.
right, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I think I understand the reason why now.
Yeah.
That rope was found inside the incinerator, which only clergy members could
I mean, I
access.
was also still thinking that, but it's been a couple days. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of, wiggle room in terms of how much I remember.
In other words, whoever tried to destroy the evidence is a member of the church. Prompt and logical. I am quite impressive.
Wait, you're tooting your own horn?
I like how because I said Chapter 1 specifically, now if you didn't know that, you know immediately what the twist of Chapter 1 of V3 is. I should have just said for V3 in general. RIP. I just realized that. Oh well. Whatever. I'd imagine most people watching Raincoat have played the Danganronpa games.
I see.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't care about extra text right now, man.
Hey! A treasure chest! Can I open it? Check it out! A new solution key!
Only clergy members have access to the incinerator. Let me look at my solution keys again real quick. Just to like refresh
We're
my
back
mind
to
on the
original
evidence.
Spot.
So, we cleared the first route.
Okay. Already used all that. Yeah, I'll just move on because I'll refamiliarize myself as I go. Basically, gotta go. Sorry, that's fair.
We just need to keep this up and go through each shrine one by one to gather clues about the culprit. Which supposedly leads to solving the real-life case. I'm starting to understand how the mystery labyrinth operates.
Bye, Alec.
You learn fast. Unlike a certain master I know.
If you're so impressed, why don't you just sign a pact with Halara?
Oh, are you sulking? You're the jealous kind, aren't you?
He could never be in a polygamous relationship, or a polyamorous relationship is what I mean. Polygamous implies that they're married.
No, I'm not.
Oh, such a child. Oh, Yuma. Oh, you're so jealous.
We're short on time, aren't we? Let's move on.
Right.
I can't wait to reap the culprit's soul.
Wow.
What do we do next?
You're so freaking rude to Shinigami like all the time. When she's like paying attention to you, but like the second she's not, you're like,
You can choose whichever you want. So
pay attention to me, mommy. Ooh. Why did I say that?
Let's see.
One I'm most confident with. So this is going to be the casino. This is the mansion, I think? And then this one would be the art gallery? I think that's the order anyway. I think I'm more, like... I think I have more of a picture of what happened at the mansion, personally, than what happened at the club, or the casino. I think I'm going to start with the mansion. Got to do my due diligence of clearing everything out. Okay. Second locked room.
The second locked room mystery occurred 3 months ago in that mansion. The corpse was inside the study, and the room's key was found underneath the corpse.
Oh my jeez, man. I have no idea why. I think I said this on the last video as well, but, like, dude, sitting has been so painful for me in the past, like, 2-3 weeks. And it's not fun when I shift and, like, my bones ache.
If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the second locked room?
Yes. I think I'm gonna do 4213 because the art gallery is the one that I have like the least like information on, in my opinion.
There are dolls nailed across the room. The victim is nailed down in the same manner. And the culprit was also missing from this room? It shares common traits with the other Nailman killings.
Yep.
And we're trapped again. Looks like you gotta solve the mystery of this locked room, or we're not leaving.
I'll try.
Where did the culprit flee from?
The door was locked when the corpse was found, and the only key was underneath the body. There are no windows that could have been used to escape, and the vent is too small to fit through. So how did the culprit escape from here?
They went out the door. It's the only answer, in my opinion.
Here! This has to be the spot! To leave the room, the culprit had to have taken this door to the hallway.
Yeah.
Huh? There's nothing special about that.
But there's no other possibility. There isn't another entrance or exit.
But the door itself was locked and the key was found under the corpse, right?
Yeah, they put it back in the room with the string.
After locking it from outside in the hallway, how did the culprit enter the room and put the key under the corpse?
Soto blep. My sister just texted me, Soto blep. Look at him. He blep. Soto blep. Alright.
Try it. Everything must be verified.
Soot is,
Sure.
my sister's boyfriend's cat. Originally was a cat that was found.
After committing the crime, the culprit went out to the
On,
hallway with the key in hand. They then locked the door.
It was a cat that was originally found on a job site by my other sister's husband, and he took it home, and they like took care of him for a few days, or maybe just like a day and a half or something. And they were looking for somebody to home him, and so my sister asked her boyfriend if he'd be willing to take the cat, and he said yes. So now that cat lives with him, which is good, because like apparently the cat had been thrown out of a car or something, which sucks. He's got to this day still has like weird ambulatory issues where like he gets around a little wobbly, and he doesn't have any like obvious broken bones or anything like that, based on x-rays that were done and such, but like he's got weird movement to him as a result of whatever injuries he sustained from being thrown out of a moving vehicle, because some asshole decided to throw a fucking cat out of a moving car right next to a job site that I'm just gonna say the name, Nick was working at. Just like not cool. Don't do that. Don't be.
Assuming that's the only way to create this locked room, the problem is.
Don't be rude to animals.
What are you going to do with that key in your hand, Master? Don't tell me you still have no idea.
Gotta go through the vent.
Oh, hold on, let me think this over. We should go back inside for now. Huh?
You gotta figure out how it worked, or it's not gonna let you back in.
Looks like we're locked out.
This is bad, Master! You better hurry or you'll fall into the abyss!
What do I do?
Calm down. You just need to solve the mystery. Doing that will open the path. You can do it, can't you?
Yes, I'll try.
We have to put the key back in the locked room, right? In that case...
Alright. Thrown in.
That's right. The key could be slid through the gap in the vent cover above the door. And if they managed to throw the key right under the corpse from here... It stopped. But nothing happened. The door is still closed.
Because you're not quite right about the trick.
If it was wrong, a trap would have activated. So we're on the right track about the key being thrown in.
Yes.
But there's more to it than that. If you simply threw it in, it'd be impossible to position it under the corpse. I see. So this is the vital clue for this locked room. I'm beginning to understand what happened here.
They use the string
Laura,
wrapped
have you
through the doll,
already
and
solved
I
the
think
trick to
around
this
the
locked room?
projector switch as like the anchor point.
You haven't?
Hey, quit playing hard to get and tell us. Or just me. You can whisper it in my ear.
If you want information from me, you'll have to pay a fitting price in Xi'an. Of course, I don't work for cheap.
You really are a devil. Trying to take money from a death god, huh?
The key was definitely tossed inside. But that doesn't explain how it got under the corpse. So, how did the culprit pull off that trick after tossing the key in? Maybe the corpse was moved? That would explain how it was on top of the key.
No, man, those legs are nailed into the floor.
But how do you move a body from outside a locked room?
Was the string trick used to move the body onto the... No, it can't. It can't have been. It had to have been to move the key.
Aww, the way's completely blocked off.
But the only things here that can block our progress are mysteries, right?
That's true. So, we just need to solve the mystery.
At least give me a heads up first.
How was the corpse moved?
It says, how was the corpse moved?
I've been trying to figure it out for a while, but...
Evidence was left at the scene.
Huh?
If you look at the evidence, you'll understand what tool the culprit used to pull this off.
Tool?
That's all the advice I'll provide. You must figure out the rest yourself if you wish to be a true detective.
Got it.
Got it? You just want the mystery solved for you, huh? I can tell, because I'm your mentor. So, I'll help you out. Are you ready? You better be.
Huh? Ready for what?
Lay it all out, Master!
Wait, really? They moved the fucking body onto the key rather than the other way around? That's insane. Culprit used a string.
You can do it, Master!
S? That's an I. I thought that was a T. B. R.
Go, go, go!
I.
Nice!
N.
Great!
G. String. Okay, we gaming. WII Gaming?
That's right. There was evidence of a thin string being used at the scene of the crime. A sturdy and thin string like a fishing line must have been used to move the body.
Sturdy and thin string.
You really think a tiny string could move a whole
Yeah, this was my
corpse?
issue.
There he is again! That rude and gloomy guy!
That deduction is wrong.
You're
I would
wrong.
say that he's wrong because it's much easier to fucking yeet the key underneath with the string and then it gets caught on the friction of the body and slips out of the extremely weak knot that it's in and then gets left behind than it is to fucking move the entire body with the fucking, you know?
What could be wrong about it? Master sounded really confident just now.
Listen. The nails in that corpse's leg pierced through his body and into the floor.
Yeah.
Which means the corpse was fixed in place. So how could the corpse be moved?
Okay, this is gonna have to do with that whole blood dripping clue. He wasn't fully moved, he was probably just pivoting. Those nails go into the floor. But his top half was completely free, so it's possible to, like, rotate him like that, I guess? His torso suggests a sitting up position. They, like, fucking rotate him like 180 degrees or some shit?
Oh, true. If the corpse was stuck in place, it'd be impossible to move it.
Indeed. It would be impossible.
Laura, you think so too?
No, so
I
he
was wrong the whole time?
He wasn't completely stuck in place, though. His top half was completely free. It'd be possible to pivot his body around the 4 points where his fucking legs are nailed into the floor. It's not a full move, it's a rotation.
Huh? The door!
The truth is slipping further away!
Of course it is. Because your deduction is wrong. You people will never reach the truth.
Master, let's take him down first!
Yeah.
Alright. I'm a little stumped, honestly, on how exactly this played out. So I guess I wasn't as completely ahead of this as I thought I was. The whole corpse being the thing that was moved thing is completely out of left field for me.
Your deduction is
Give you my
wrong.
solution case real quick. It's gotta be this.
Do you have any proof that the corpse was moved? The corpse was fixed in place.
Oh,
It
that's
didn't
probably
move
the
the
correct
meter.
one.
In fact, that corpse shows no sign it was ever moved.
That's wrong. Shows no sign it was ever moved is wrong.
No, there was evidence the body had been moved. The upper and lower parts of the body bled out differently. The blood from the lower body flowed naturally outwards, along the body's outline. But blood from the upper body looks like it flowed in a downward direction, toward his hips. If the corpse was motionless on its back, there wouldn't be such unusual bloodstains.
Yeah.
In other words, it's safe to assume the body's position was different from when
I think
it was
his legs
discovered.
were out straight, but his back was propped up against something. And now he's been rotated out of that position. My god, the amount of force you'd have to use to, like, move the body around these pivot points, that's probably a lot of, like, pulling you'd have to do, man. You'd probably fucking cut your hands or something on the wire. Rope you were using. Like, jeez. Like, think about the amount of dead weight that a body is. Like, my god.
What? What's this?
Ah, gross! We gotta hurry and get through that door.
Unusual circumstances. It doesn't matter. As long as the corpse was pinned to the floor, it couldn't be moved. You can't change the truth.
Even this didn't work? Am I just wrong about it all?
No, you're correct. The answer you've reached using the evidence is the truth.
Laura!
There's no doubt a fine string was used in this case. Evidence at the crime scene indicate the corpse was moved. So all that remains is to answer, how was the pin body moved? That bizarre bloodstain holds the clue to all of this.
Yeah.
The bloodstain? If the bloodstain is the clue for how the body could be moved, even while pinned...
It's...
Master, we gotta chase after the door! It's getting further away!
Hey, wait!
I won't let you!
Alright. He's in a seated position. Upper body sitting up.
That's right! The corpse was sitting up at first. That's why only the wounds in the upper half of the body bled straight down.
Yes. That's... or the wall, yeah. Oh shit, no, it was the string itself. I was thinking it was propped up against something, but he was just held taut by the string. Damn, that porcelain doll's face is strong, man.
The string I mentioned before was thin but sturdy. It was all over the room, holding the body's upper half in place. That's the reason only the corpse's neck had marks on it.
Why was the corpse lying on the back? String was retrieved.
The culprit then retrieved all the string that kept the corpse in place from outside the door. And with nothing to support it, the top half of the corpse fell back to the floor, just like how it was discovered.
Okay. Easy enough, I
It
guess.
appears this locked room mystery will finally be solved.
I was thinking it was like up, like leaning up against a wall or the desk, but I forgot that all
When
of
did
those
that
were like way too far away for that to be the case. So he literally was just pulled tight up into a sitting position.
Maybe you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Master, you know the answer, right? Let's finish this.
Right.
You gotta think like the culprit, Master.
Think about how the culprit created the locked room and follow the same steps to complete it.
Blood placed This is suspicious.
Select items following the sequence of events. Some of the items weren't used in the crime, so be careful. Okay.
You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery.
You gotta recreate culprit's process to create a locked room mystery. Alright. Pause just for a second. Alright. So it's definitely this.
Maybe you got the order wrong. Stay calm, collect your thoughts. First, you need to tie the fishing line down. Find a sturdy spot where it can be easily retrieved later.
Oh, that's the vent. I didn't realize I had to do it from the point where it was first tied.
First, a knot was tied through a slit in the vent.
That was my misunderstanding. I thought I could do it in either
After that, the
order,
fishing line was drawn
like
away to
from the
another
corpse
location.
back to the vent.
In terms of sequence, it'd probably be easier to start with things that are fixed in place.
Yeah. Next would be the doll, I think.
That's it! It passed through a doll's eye!
Yeah.
And then the fishing line passed through the eye to somewhere else.
The next point's gotta be the light.
Oh? So the marks on that doll's eye were made from the line passing through it. So what else?
Desk light.
No, there's no need for the line to go there. Stay calm and try to gather your thoughts. You proved that yourself already. The line is what propped the upper part of the body up.
Okay. Shoot. Guess now it... The corpse?
Right. The line was then passed around a certain point on the corpse. That was...
The neck.
Here, behind the neck. The line ends here to support it. Now, it's clear that the line passed through the vent, the doll's eye, and ended beneath the neck.
Hang on. Why pull the line through the doll first? Can't you just start by pulling it from under the body?
To support the body's weight, the line needs to pass through the doll first, as it was fixed in place. Next, the fishing line.
I think it'd be way more secure to pull it on the nail itself than around the doll.
There are 3 points with signs of wear from the line. That should tell you what happened next. Think it over one more time.
Okay. Thinking that maybe it did something with the painting. Did it?
There are 3 points with signs of wear from the line. Think it over one more time.
Other... Did it just go right back out then?
Now, to return the line to the vent.
Okay.
This kept the corpse's upper torso in place. The room has been completely prepared. So next...
Next they just left. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that the
culprit
that the
exited
fifth
through
step
the
would
door
be
and locked
leaving
it
the
with a
room,
key.
so I was thinking it had to do
Then-
something else before leaving the room. Before tying back to the vent.
The key was thrown through the gap in the vent. If the culprit managed to drop the key next to the corpse, the only thing left was to untie the line. Then... the corpse, which was supported only by the line, would fall face up on top of the key.
Me, imagining the 1800 failed attempts to throw the key into that location, so then actually, there can't be any failed attempts. They had to have done it correctly the first time, because the door, they just fucking locked it. Personally, what I probably would have done as the killer would leave the door open, see if I can get the key to land in that spot, from the outside, where the corpse is propped up. Because if the idea is, like, you want the key to be under the corpse so it looks even more like you couldn't have left, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter exactly where the key landed.
That's how the culprit created the locked room.
Hooray! You did it! That's my master!
Alright.
The bloodstains were strange. The length of the nails driven into the upper and lower body were different. The nails on the upper half didn't penetrate all the way through the body. But the nails on the lower half went all the way through and into the floor. That was how the lower half could be secured, while the upper half could still be moved around.
That sure was tricky, but you managed to solve the mystery behind it.
Okay. We have a new solution key here now.
Looks like we finally made it to the treasure chest. Speaking of, don't you think that whoever worked the hardest should get to open it? Which is me, of course.
This is probably another clue leading to the culprit. I'm not sure how we use it. Still, it must be used for something. Hold on to it for now.
All right, let's keep going and solve the remaining locked rooms.
Okay. We've got 1 and 3 still. I'm gonna do 1 first.
The first locked room happened 6 months ago in a secret club in Kamasaki. An old geezer was nailed to the wall in an underground casino. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the first locked room?
Yes.
Oh, did we get trapped inside a locked room again?
Yes.
But if the mystery isn't solved, then I won't escape this place. Trapped in a cramped room with these two.
Oh, how horrible.
Sounds kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
I have no intention of playing along with your fantasies. Yuma, hurry up and take care of this.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, here we go. Where did the culprit flee from?
This is where I used Hilara's Forte with my coalescence for the first time. Post-cognition allowed us to see the crime scene as it was in the past. Some things were obviously different. Those are most suspicious.
Alright. So we got a chair. I think it was this.
Here! I know! What about the vent?
You believe the culprit escaped through the vent?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I'm sure of it. When I saw the crime scene with your post-cognition, the screws on the four corners of the vent cover were removed. Which means the culprit must have escaped from there.
How ludicrous. You're saying the culprit escaped from the vent? That's impossible.
I actually think that this one's fairly straightforward. I sort of forgot a little bit of the details, but now that I'm thinking about it again and remembering those details, I think this one's probably the most straightforward of the rooms, so I probably could have done this one before the other one, but eh.
Master, poking full of holes until he's a makeshift golf course.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's even more slightly straightforward than the ladder solution was to me, and that was pretty easy. At least I think it might be. Maybe it'll throw a wrench into the works of what I'm thinking about, but it's definitely seeming like they just climbed out the vent with the nails.
They used the vent. That's utterly impossible. Think of where that vent is. Isn't it pretty high up? There's no way you could get there.
Oh.
Even if the cover was removed.
Oh, okay, never mind. That was the wrong statement.
Then...
Wrong statement.
How ludicrous. They used the vent. That's utterly impossible. Think of where that vent is. Isn't it pretty high up? There's no
That's definitely
way
when I
you
had
could
to
get
dodge
there.
by
Even if the
going
cover
down
was
but I-
removed. There's no foothold to use to reach it.
That's what we're looking
Let's
for.
do this mystery! Some of the nails stuck in the bottom of the vent were bent downward. The culprit used the nails driven into the wall as footing to reach the vent. The weight caused the nails to bend.
So you're forced to fight this way every time. Quite the test of endurance.
Yeah, no kidding.
However, solving the mystery itself was simple. The nails were used as footing to escape through the vent. Did you find that out using my post-cognition?
Yeah, without your help, this case would have been impossible to solve.
You'll never be considered a full-fledged detective until you can handle a case like this on your own.
Sorry.
You got lectured again. Sucks to be a rookie, huh? Anyway, let's head out. I'll use the nails on the wall as footing, just like you deduced.
Right, let's hurry.
Oh.
Mystery Labyrinth. Such a bizarre place. I must ask, is there no way to escape besides solving the mysteries?
You mean like an emergency exit? Unfortunately, I don't think that exists.
An emergency exit, huh? Well, there is one, kinda.
There is?
Death?
But it doesn't solve anything. You'll just go right back to the mess you came from. Besides, to use the emergency exit, you'll have to pay a heavy, heavy price.
And that is?
Don't worry about it. Using it here wouldn't help anyway. So, never mind. Just concentrate on solving the mystery.
I feel like you have to give up a lot of your lifespan or some nonsense.
Got it.
Or you just straight up die. Yeah, you can use the emergency exit, but you just die if you...
Treasure! So, who's gonna open the treasure chest this time? How about, whoever looks like they'd win a character popularity poll? Oh, that's me!
Great, thanks.
Alright, another solution key.
Imagine thinking of
Looks
yourself
like
as a
another clue
character.
leading us toward the culprit.
Someone can.
Considering the culprit used those nails as footing, they would have to be nimble. And given the size of the vent, only someone thin could fit through it.
So the culprit must be thin. We're narrowing down the possibilities quite nicely.
Keep it up, Master. This is all thanks to my training.
I mean, I think it's probably the nun, right? That's what I'm thinking, at least.
Let's solve the rest.
Right.
Although, like, if she didn't get that injury climbing down that ladder, then, like, she probably couldn't have climbed down that ladder because she only had the use of one of her hands. Or something other, but, So, other occurrence recently that day, or whatever.
The third locked room was a murder that happened
Maybe it's not
1
her.
month ago in the art gallery storage. in
Honestly, it
Greenwell
might end up
district.
just being the guy, the like worshiper guy who was like weird and
Pictures
a
and
fan of
papers
the
scattered
of
all
the nail
around the
man.
spot where a woman was boom killed. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing.
All right.
Are you going to the third locked room?
Yes. I like how I referenced Labyrinth, the 80s, or I think it's an 80s movie. If not, it's a 90s movie.
Did we get stuck inside a locked room again?
Let me look up when Labyrinth was made, actually. It's got David Bowie in it. He plays the Goblin Prince. I like how I referenced that in the title of this stream. I'm probably not going to use the same title for the YouTube video, so if you're watching on YouTube, you don't understand. But the VOD is basically titled, like... Mystery Labyrinth is like... Is it like that one David Bowie movie? It is an 80s movie. It came out in 86.
This was the corpse
And this is
that was
nothing like
discovered
that.
by that worshipper and the art gallery employee. At the time of discovery, the door was locked and the key was nailed to a doll inside the room. Aside from the door, the only other entrance is the window, but it opens just enough to fit a finger in. The frame itself is too small for even a child to squeeze through. How did the culprit vanish from here?
All right. They're not getting out that tiny window. This one I really have no clue, man. My only thought is that, like, maybe they didn't leave the room or something. Can't say there. Painting over here. I just want to see what my options are. Door. This shelving unit.
What if the culprit was hiding in a cardboard box?
What? Like a certain special ops soldier?
Metal Gear reference?
Right, I guess not.
It's gotta be this painting then, because there's no way they went out the door. Okay, never mind. I guess they did just go out the door, probably.
There doesn't appear to be any place it could have gone around here.
I guess so.
Shit. Am I insane? Am I insane? Am I insane? Am I insane? Yeah, no way. It's gotta just be the door then.
It's too small for...
I just thought that that's way too obvious and stupid.
Here. I think the culprit could have only escaped from here, but...
Nothing's happening. Maybe you made a mistake, Master.
No, that can't be right.
That can't be right, because I clicked on everything else in this room that could be an exit, and, it didn't work.
It's impossible for anyone to squeeze through that window. They could have only gotten out through the door. I'm sure the culprit had the key and locked the door from the outside after committing the crime.
The culprit just used copy of the key? Would that really be considered a locked room mystery?
No, not at all.
Well, there are only 2 keys to the storage space, and the design makes them impossible to duplicate.
Probably not impossible, probably just difficult.
I learned that thanks to you, Halara.
One of the keys is always carried by that one employee. It was used when the body was first discovered, right? And the only other key was nailed through a doll onto a painting. So, it is a locked room mystery! Right? Oh, that's totally it.
I see. I suppose you could call it that. Hey, Yuma. Can you go check outside of that window?
I already did in real life.
Oh, just like before.
Before?
Yeah, you made me do the same thing in the real world when we were investigating this place.
I see. Then the answer has already been confirmed. Very well. This locked room is solved.
I locked the door through the key in through the window outside.
Huh? Wait, did you already solve this mystery?
You haven't? How about you go and check outside the window? Then even you will see.
Oh, it unlocked. Looks like you can go outside.
All right, let's go see.
Alright, I guess I have to go check the window. Again. Mystery labyrinth this time. It is big enough that you could probably eat the key in,
Hey,
but...
didn't you already check this in the real world? Why do it again?
Yeah, that's...
Halara told me to check it twice. There must be an important clue outside that window.
Hey! Maybe the culprit threw the key in through the window. That way, the key would be found inside.
Yeah.
Well, how about that theory?
That's the only reason why the window would be important, in my opinion.
Is this the storage key?
Which means...
Goes to the culprit. What happened to the key?
This one's a freebie!
got tossed in the window.
Right. Just toss it in there, Master.
The culprits threw the key inside? Is that really the right answer? Did the culprit throw the key in from the window?
Master, hurry up and throw the key!
I'm thinking no.
Your footing's crumbling away. You're gonna fall.
I don't think they did. I think they were the art staff guy.
That's the
Or they
right
slipped
answer?
it onto him somehow.
How? Didn't the culprit throw the key in
No.
there? That's why the key was found inside, right?
No, that key is the other one.
No, the crime scene wouldn't end up like that if we threw it in. The key was nailed to a painting. That's not possible if you just throw it into the room.
Oh, right.
That means the killer is either the guy who's been discovering all of these bodies, or the art staff guy who works here.
But if the culprit didn't throw it in there, how is the key left in the room?
Because they opened it with that key and then left it in there and then closed it with the other key, and then, like, slipped that key back onto the art staff guy who they stole it from. They stole both keys.
If you can't nail the key after throwing it...
You're back. The key vanished.
The key is in my hand.
Master! You got the doll and nail!
I see. So you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Try it out. Doing so will create a new path.
Yeah, I'm gonna solve this.
Good luck, Master! You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery. First, do something about that doll.
Okay. This big painting.
All right, first, take the painting. The culprit nailed the doll onto the painting. Next, both were stood up at a certain location.
Directly under the window. Did they just slide it on there?
The painting was stood up facing the window. Now the part with the
Oh,
pierced
that's
doll was
awesome.
right next to the window. After that,
I didn't consider this. This is way cooler than them just stealing both keys.
Then the culprit went outside. The door was locked, and they went to the other side of the storage room. I can see the painting and doll through the window, but I can barely fit my hand through the gap.
The doll's got a nail in it, but the problem is that key in your hand, Master.
Yeah, the culprit took the key and then...
No. Think about the state the corpse was in at the time of discovery. The key wasn't just hanging on it. What's the next step?
Shit. Nailed to the painting with the doll, I guess?
The culprit nailed the key to the painting, along with the doll from outside the window.
Oh.
Finally...
Oh, there was 2 nails in the doll. Right, I forgot about that. I was thinking he just put it on the 1 nail. But there was 2 nails, I forgot about that. Knocked the painting in.
I push the painting into the
Yeah.
room. It completes the locked room mystery. This is how the culprit did it.
Locked room complete.
It took some time, but you've reached the truth behind this locked room.
Throwing the key through the window would be obvious. So to mislead us into thinking that was impossible, the key was nailed to a painting which was then pushed over.
It's one thing for an amateur, but a detective wouldn't be tricked by this.
Seriously, only amateurs would get fooled by... Wait, you mean me?
Damn. Well, I'm kind of an amateur too, so there you go.
Treasure chest! Who's gonna open this one? We should let the meanest one of us open it.
How would you decide that?
I literally find out like 90% of the mysteries in like all of these games as the game is telling me what it is.
Like this. I'm the meanest. Let's check out this treasure. Huh?
What's wrong?
It's empty.
Huh? Why? After all we went through to solve this locked room.
This must mean solving the third locked room mystery doesn't necessarily bring us any closer to the ultimate truth.
That's terrible. I suddenly feel so tired.
We can't call it quits. We gotta keep going. That's it for all the locked rooms.
I'm gonna pause here for just a second. Alright, we're back, so...
We make a pretty good team. Don't you think so?
Well, what do we do from here? I see. The way forward is clear. It must be due to solving all of the locked room mysteries. Now let's go.
Right.
Again, I gotta ask. Who's supposed to be the protagonist here?
Alright, let's keep going.
This place is creepy.
Don't be afraid to roll the dice. You must keep pursuing the truth. Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. Isn't that right?
Yes. Is this some dungeon?
What is the meaning of this? Let me out of here!
Let me out! I'll kill your ass in the name of God!
I have nothing to do with the case.
I'm not the culprit! Let me go!
Wow, they're all here.
So now we must pick out the true culprit of this case.
The true culprit.
Yuma, you solved all the locked room mysteries before you made it here. You should have all the clues and evidence you need to accuse the culprit. To be honest, when I first met you, I thought you were rather pitiful.
Damn.
You sure are honest.
But my opinion of you has improved. These mysteries have brought you closer to becoming a true detective. Now tie up all the loose ends and prove that I am not mistaken about you.
All right.
With your logic, anything is possible.
Wow, she said the thing, but for me instead of her, well, they said the thing, sorry, but for me instead of themselves. I'm gonna keep screwing that up like the entire game.
All right, I'll try.
How'd I?
Ooh, somebody's guilty. My
Binary
heart's
gender
pounding.
is so ingrained in my brain, and I hate it. I really hate it. Okay. It can't be the big guy. He couldn't have fit through the vent, but I feel like everyone else could have probably.
The nail man.
I'm not the culprit.
I'm not the nail man.
How can I be the nail man?
It's so weird that you were at every crime scene, dude.
I'm not the nail.
I'm not the culprit.
I have to make this choice based on just what I have right now. Only clergy members had access to the thing. It can't be. It can't.
How can I be the nail man?
It can't be this guy. This guy is so goddamn sus, but it can't be this guy because he's not actually a clergy member. He's just some guy. It's gotta be fucking you or you.
Not the nail man.
And like, out of the two of them, part of me thinks it's her. But because of the thing that I said, where if she didn't get that injury falling off the ladder, then she probably couldn't have climbed the ladder to begin with. It's gotta be this guy.
I'm not the culprit.
The culprit is you, Father.
What? That's an absolutely
Ridiculous thing to say.
Him again? Why won't he just get up?
You're saying the priest, a man of the cloth, is the culprit? That's impossible.
Why?
How dare you spew such nonsense?
right. Do not make baseless accusations.
This guy was saying shit about the nail man being like a savior to people. So he probably fucking is the guy. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think someone who isn't the nail man would, like, stand up for a fucking killer like that.
The culprit has to be someone else.
Nah.
Yuma, can I leave this to you?
It's not a baseless accusation. You're the only one who could possibly be the culprit.
You're a clergy member, you're not a big guy, and you don't have a broken arm at the moment.
Master, you're acting like a real detective. Go on and boom kill him.
As weird as that other guy is, like, has to be you. Just like, no one fell off that ladder based on the fact that there's... Like, I feel like that would be pretty obvious, you know? The fact that there's just neat footprints at the bottom and nothing else, like, that means no one fell off that ladder. So it can't have been the nun. So it's obviously this guy.
I'm a man.
Honestly, it was between them once it was like, it has to be one of the church members. Gotta be this.
the cloth.
Wrong, you're not.
Like this. It's total blasphemy. I am not the nailman. That's it! The first one to discover the bodies. The mailman is the worshiper!
Oh shit, I should have. Yeah.
Say,
Yeah.
I'm a man of the cloth. Down me like this.
I tried to dodge that one and failed.
I am not the mailman. That's it! The first one to discover the bodies. The mailman is the worshiper!
this is the truth.
The rope ladder used in the clock tower's locked room was found in the incinerator, which only clergy can access. The worshipper may be a regular churchgoer, but he's no clergy member, so he's no longer a suspect.
Shut up! Shut up! Ridiculous!
Alright, here we go. He's probably going to try to throw it on the other guy, so I'm going to go with this for now.
The church is the culprit? Even so, I am not the culprit. There are others working for the church.
Which is true.
Yes, there's the servant. The servant must be the nailman. The servant.
I tried to dodge under that and I did it too soon. Oh god, I should have hit that button sooner.
He pretended to discover a rope ladder.
How did you know that it was a rope ladder?
But
Then
A member of the church is the culprit? Even so, I am not the culprit. There are others working for the church. Yes, there's the servant. The servant must be the nailman. The servant was able to commit the crimes.
Wrong.
Flash through this mystery.
The second one he couldn't have done. Or the first, or whatever. The first one, right.
climbing up to the underground casino's window with only nails for footing would require considerable agility.
I misremembered the order of them because of the fact that I did that 1 second in my mystery labyrinth thing just now, but it was the first case.
Judging by the size of the window, there's no way someone of his size could have committed the crime.
I mean, yeah, you can't get out that vent, but it's vent, not window, Yuma.
No! Absolute lies! The nun must be the culprit. She's dead, and also... So works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes.
Shit.
But
It's gotta be with this non-public information. Probably just
She's
says...
dead, and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes.
No.
It's not like she's afraid of heights. She used the nails to climb. And you know she's always saying, "I'll kill your ass in the name of God." It's clear she's the ruthless soul.
But
She can't have used the nails to climb because she has a broken arm, but I don't know how to say that. Oh. Only someone with full use of their arms could have fashioned this room. I didn't see that part of the thing.
She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crime.
No, she's not.
This is the truth.
Okay, we're fine.
in the mansion study's locked room, the culprit tossed the key behind the corpse with perfect aim. With her dominant hand injured, the nun couldn't have done that, which means she's not the culprit. It's not the churchgoer, the servant, or the nun. There's only one option left. Father, it's you. You are the nail man.
Hey, say something quick. Otherwise, they'll pin me as the culprit.
Well...
You're useless. I am a priest in service to God. I am not the nail man.
Okay.
What god would make you this ugly?
All your proof is nothing but fantasy. You don't have a single piece of hard evidence.
Hard evidence?
But Master, you do! It's easy.
Based on the facts, the priest must be the culprit. The decisive evidence that proves it is... I don't know. What do I do?
What?
A detective must always prioritize solving a case. Listen, a detective isn't an arbiter of justice. Unraveling a case is top priority, even with questionable methods.
What do you mean?
In short, you must get them to confess. Use everything in your arsenal, even if it requires bluffing.
Use everything?
Don't hesitate to use anything that might give you an advantage. Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. Always remember that.
A bluff? In other words, I should just claim I have solid evidence. But what could I use as a bluff?
I'm not quite sure how we're going to go about this quite yet. Guess we'll see. Alright.
Enough with your stupid fantasies. Everything you say is nothing but a fantasy. Do you have any proof that I'm the culprit?
Yes.
Did you find my fingerprints? Did you find my blood? Of course there's no evidence. Because I'm not the culprit.
Ow.
That's true.
So we don't have any hard evidence that proves the priest is the culprit, but
Yeah, that's right.
just like Hilara said, use whatever you have. Bluff if you have to. And if bluff, huh? I'll use that one thing. Be
Enough with your stupid fantasies. Everything you say is nothing but a fantasy.
ow.
Do you have any proof that I'm the culprit? Did you find my fingerprints? Did you find my blood? Of course there's no evidence.
Oh. Shit.
Because I'm not the culprit.
That's true.
I wanted to use this on the
Enough with your stupid fantasies.
because he wouldn't have seen the case report. He doesn't know what's in it.
Everything you say
Sure, it's
is
useless,
nothing
but
but a fantasy. Do you have any proof that I'm the culprit? Did you find my fingerprints? Did you find my blood? Of course there's no evidence.
there is evidence. Oh shit.
Come on.
In that case,
Oh, the footprints? Really? That's it?
Enough with your stupid
I did think that it was probably that, but I was like,
fantasies.
the game was telling me to bluff more than anything else.
There's
I mean,
nothing
sure,
but
the
a
footprints don't help that much, but they are still, like, actual evidence. I thought I had to, like, bluff and lie, like fully fucking lie.
Did you find my blood? Of course there's no evidence.
Because of the fact that the game told me to bluff, I was like, okay, I'll just fucking make up bullshit then. But
you left clear evidence at the clock tower's crime scene.
what it means is bluff as in stretch the importance of a piece of evidence, not fucking just blatantly lie about what a piece of evidence says.
There were footprints left under the window in the mud. When we inspected them, we found out they perfectly match your footprints.
Yeah, there's the bluff. That it matches his footprints when we don't actually know that.
Impossible. I already burned those shoes in the incinerator.
There we go.
You gave yourself away.
I swear, I only enacted justice in the name of God.
Killing people is not just.
Looks like it worked. Good job, Yuma.
Thanks.
Kanai Ward is rotten to the core. To save it, someone had to get their hands dirty. Those slain were the evil incarnate that harm others. That's why the people asked the nailmen to kill them. Evil must be punished. And so, I strangled them, made them suffer. All I did was slay evil.
Nah. All you did was kill innocent people and tell yourself that they were evil to justify it.
If someone hates somebody bad enough, they give that name to the Nailman. And this priest went around killing those people as the Nailman.
I mean, sure, some of those people probably sucked and did, like, shitty things. But does that necessarily mean that they deserve to die? No, probably not.
The urban legend offered targets for murder.
A priest is supposed to be the voice of God, but he went around killing people because someone wanted them dead. What is awesome?
It's terrible. It's insane to think that he'd kill people for a reason like that.
That could be said about all murders. Insane people kill for insane reasons. Anyway, you did it, Yuma. My expectations of you weren't wrong after all.
Is it finally over? Huh, nothing's happening. But last time...
Yeah, the soul of the true culprit who created this mystery labyrinth should appear. And since it didn't, it looks like this isn't over yet.
Huh? It's not over?
There are still mysteries related to the Nailman killings within this mystery labyrinth.
But we solved all of the locked rooms and discovered the true identity of the Nailman.
That's not every mystery, though, Yuma.
Was I wrong?
You weren't wrong.
But the priest even confessed to it.
Calm down, Yuma. There's no need to panic. If the Nailman's identity is exposed and all mysteries are yet to be solved, then most likely someone else's agenda is involved in this string of killings.
Someone else's agenda?
Meaning the Nailman didn't work alone.
You mean there's another culprit? But...
Yuma, if you consider yourself to be a detective, you must see the truth through to the very end. No mystery concludes with a dead end. There is nothing we detectives cannot solve.
We gotta find out who was giving him names, probably.
All right.
We have to review these killings from a different perspective.
I think the worshipper may have been the guy giving names. Maybe. Just like, how else would you know who the person that they were going to kill
Out
is?
of the 4 locked rooms, if any of them were hiding a mysterious secret, it would be the room that's obviously different from the others.
Different?
Gotta be room 3.
Master, I get the feeling you want my help. Isn't that right? That's what you want, right?
I mean, no.
Huh?
Oh, fine. I can't say no to you, and you're so helpless like that.
Great.
Okay, Master, lay it all out.
Okay. I think it's the third one. That just makes the most sense to me as being the most different.
Are you ready to play the shitty
This locked room is different from the others because of the victims. C. Or maybe it's just death. I was thinking cause of death. Death. There's something really funny about like a like happy chime sound playing for the word death.
A new path's opened up. It seems to be a hidden passage. If so, then the truth should be somewhere down there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sorry, just had to do my compulsive clearing and all that stuff. And I was thinking, wait, I never bought skills right before this, so I probably have skill points that I could use. And I did.
I see. So the cause of death for the victim at the art gallery storage is the only one that's different.
Right. The victims in the other locked rooms were all strangled to death. All had strangulation marks and scratches, defensive wounds. The victim in the third locked room had strangulation marks, but no signs of resistance.
Yeah.
There's also evidence of blunt trauma to the head, which can be considered the fatal blow.
The marks could have been made after the victim died, so as to appear as if strangulation is the cause of death. The real cause of death is blunt force trauma.
All right. Here we are.
Here's another obstacle, but it's likely to be an insignificant one. Yuma, let's solve this mystery and move on.
Right.
What's the cause of death made to look like strangulation? Work of a copycat. That's what I thought initially anyway.
Right here!
If it's wrong, it'll just be a dead end.
The strangulation was faked to imply this crime had the same perpetrator as the other 3 incidents. By making the crime scene as similar as possible, it appeared like the mailman was responsible for an unrelated murder. Which means this was a copycat crime.
I agree. Among the string of mailman killings, there could be some that were done by copycat criminals.
That has to be why the mystery labyrinth still remains, even after discovering the mailman's identity. So who is the copycat criminal?
Indeed, we need to uncover this imposter's identity.
All right.
It's not the child, I can tell you that much. That's ridiculous.
You're accusing me of being the copycat criminal? What the hell? I'll kill your ass!
I kind of want to accuse the kid just to see what happens. Because it's so obviously not him.
No, it's not me.
I told you already. I have nothing to do with this.
I feel like if anyone's the copycat killer, it's you, but...
You're accusing me of...
I told you already. I have nothing to do with this.
It's gotta be you, man.
You are the copycat criminal.
Huh? Me? What are you talking about? I told you all about the Nailman, and even cooperated with your investigation.
Yeah. But you You told us about the third crime and basically said to us, yeah, the Nailman did this, clearing yourself of any suspicion of doing that crime.
And now you think I'm a murderer? Are you fucking kidding me? This is crazy. Your investigation isn't worth shit. I'll crush you to dust, you filth!
Alright. Let's kill this guy. Woman's corpse. Other victims, the signs of strangulation. Yeah. It's gotta do with this fact and this fact, somehow.
Why accuse me of being the culprit? I was just first on the scene. Why do you think I'm a copycat criminal?
My time will cost you.
It could have all been the Nailman. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah? Even if there was a copycat criminal, why is it me? The servant could be the copycat. The nut could be the copycat. Anyone could have done it!
Say,
The Nailman incident was the talk of the town, so couldn't anyone be the copycat killer? But in order to copy the crime, you would need to know the details of the case. Are those details widely known? Let's check the solution keys. No, they weren't.
Why accuse me of being the culprit? I was just first on the scene. Why do you think I'm a copycat criminal? It could have all been the Nailman. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah? Even if there was a copycat criminal, why is it me? The servant could be the copycat. The nut could be the copycat. Anyone could have done it.
The noise got in the way the first time. A little bit. I think it was not completely gone or something.
The cause of death in the art gallery was blunt force trauma, faked as a strangling to resemble the Nailman's MO. But the murders all being strangulations wasn't made public right away. The only ones who knew that were those who actually set foot on the crime scenes. That includes the Nailman himself, the peacekeepers, and the first eyewitnesses on the scene. Which means you could have committed the murder in the art gallery.
Master, after him! Put some sense into that sensitive, nonsensical phantom!
Alright.
The what?
For the first on the scene to also be the culprit is rather cliche.
Yeah.
He was always suspicious, but because the real Nailman was someone else, I didn't connect the dots. He was fascinated by the Nailman, and by studying him, he eventually knew more about him than anyone else. Ultimately, he became the Nailman.
It's ironic that he exposed his own crime by knowing too much about the other ones.
Yep.
Master, the truth is right there! My radar is banging like crazy!
Banging?
Go away! I won't let you! You have the truth!
Looks like we've arrived at the final stage.
If we make him submit, we'll completely solve the mystery labyrinth. Master, don't let your guard down.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do this, Master.
All right.
You will never destroy this board! Damn you! Stop it! Shut up! Damn this! Stop with your lies! Everything was done by the Nailman! I'm not the culprit! How dare you accuse me when you have no proof? You didn't even check the crime scenes back then!
We did though.
You're wrong! Huh? Come on!
Thanks to Halara's forte, we were able to see what each crime scene looked like at that time.
My power allows me to see the moment the first witness saw the crime scene. Not the culprit, not the victim, but how it appeared when a third party first entered.
We used post-cognition to gather all the evidence.
Time to countdown.
Wrong! Shut up! Stop it! Get away from me! Damn it! Why you? Get away from me! Get away! Get away! Who cares if you use post-cognition? You only saw what I saw as the first person on scene! No clue will help lead you to the culprit! You're never gonna find the culprit! What you saw is only what I saw the moment the corpse was discovered!
Oh, it's not what you saw for this case though. Because you knocked the paint can over, if the third party was you, that can wouldn't be on the floor.
Halara's post-cognition showed us that the paint can at the gallery storage entrance had been knocked over.
So you couldn't have been a third party in that case.
And according to the art gallery staff member's testimony, that was your doing. You went into the crime scene first, and the art gallery employee behind you noticed you knocking over the paint can. But Halara's post-cognition only shows the scene when the corpse is first discovered.
By a third party.
So if you were the first person to find the body, the scene before the paint can fell over would have been recreated. But it wasn't. The paint can had already been knocked over when the corpse was discovered. That means the first person to find the corpse was the art gallery's staff member, not you. The reason you didn't count as the first person to find it is because you're the culprit.
Boom.
This is the truth of the
Got him.
case.
I love the moments in these cases where a small piece of evidence that, like, you know is going to be important later, but just aren't sure how, gets revealed as how it's important, and it's always the clincher. It always is. It's always the smallest piece of evidence that is basically something you'd probably just overlook in real life that ends up, like, fucking clinching these cases, and it's so good.
Master, finish him! Shove all your evidence into the solution blade and slash as hard as you can!
Alright. Deduction denouement. Denouement. I don't know how to pronounce that, man. I think that's right. Denouement? That's how you say it? Am I correct? I don't know. What's ZR? Did the culprit leave the room from? Sent. Culprit used the nails. I don't have the string. Actually, I do. Never mind. The culprit tied to the vent, the fishing line. Where did the culprit pass the line through last? Rope ladder. What did the culprit use? The incinerator. And we got... Who is the nailman? Nailman is the priest. Who's the nailman's copycat? That's the worshiper. Boom. Give us that nice little summary, and there we go. That's the truth.
Step right up, step right up! A series of locked-room murders based on an urban legend. Will we discover the true identity of the Nailman?
Yes.
Truth bombs are about to be dropped. Time for the deduction denouement.
I did pronounce that correctly, okay.
To solve the mystery of this string of
Frenchman.
events, we have to know who the Nailman is first.
Out of foreign languages, I think French is probably one of the ones that I have a little bit of experience with, that I would say I have the least amount of experience with. You know what I'm saying? Or like, there are some where I just have zero experience with them at all. But out of the ones that I'm like familiar with some words of, I would say French is probably the least of those, you know?
The Nailman is an urban legend of Conaiward. You write down the name of someone you want dead, and drive a nail through it and a doll to a tree behind the church. And the Nailman will kill that person for you with a countless number of nails.
A string of murders exactly like that urban legend began half a year ago.
All of the crime scenes featured a corpse and dolls nailed down within a locked room. The first murder happened 6 months ago at a secret club in Kamisaki district.
The victim was none other than the geezer who owned the place, and the cause of death was strangulation. I heard the buy-in to place a bet was pretty steep, and cheating was rampant, so it was obviously a scummy place.
The key to the door was inside of a glass. And the vent that connects outside looked too high for escape to be possible.
But the culprit used the nails driven into the wall as footholds to climb. The proof? Why, the nails that were bent downward.
The vent was not screwed down at the time of the murder, so it could easily be removed and used as an escape route. The second murder happened 3 months ago. It was at a mansion near Ginma district.
At this point, I think we should suspect that priests are criminals a lot more than we normally do, because, like, oh my god, there's so many times where priests are criminals, especially in media. Like, you should not be looking at a priest and going like, oh, that man is godly and a good man. You should be looking at a priest and going like, this guy is totally abusing his power.
The victim was some real estate agent who lived there, and the cause of death was again strangulation. He made a lot of money through shady real estate deals, so of course someone would be out to get him.
The door to the crime scene was the only possible entrance. But the key to that door was underneath the nailed-down victim.
Nope.
After the culprit escaped, some sort of trick was used to get the key back into the room.
A fishing line passed from the vent through the eye socket of the doll and propped up the upper body of the corpse. All that was left was to exit the room, lock it, throw the key in from the vent, and boom! You got yourself a locked room mystery!
Yep.
The key was tossed under the victim from the vent, and once the fishing line was retrieved, the corpse's upper body fell over, completing the crime scene.
The nails on the upper body didn't pierce through completely, so it wasn't nailed down at all.
The third murder happened 1 month ago in an art gallery storage room in Ginma district.
The skank's cause of death was blunt force trauma!
That's not very nice.
She was a pretty lady who let her looks get to her head, and she got boom killed.
The key to the storage room was nailed to a painting through a doll. Another trick was used to get the key back inside the room here.
The painting with the doll nailed to it was propped knocked up against the window, and then the culprit left the room. They nailed the key to the painting through the window, knocked it over, and bam! All done!
Those are the truths behind the past 3 cases. Now, there's been another murder at the clock tower in Kanai Ward.
The woman's cause of death was strangulation. Since you told that kid you'd take care of it, we've gotta solve this case.
The clock tower crime scene is rather high up on the 3rd floor. The door was locked from the inside, and the window shutters were also locked. But there was rainwater under the window, and the nails in 2 of the dolls had rub marks.
In other words, the culprit must have hung a rope ladder from the dolls to escape out the window. With my logic, anything is possible.
Why are you imitating Halara? Anyway.
For a second, I was like, wow, that's that voice is a little girlish for what Halara normally sounds like. I guess they just forgot the voice when they recorded those lines, but no, it was just Shinigami fucking imitating her. That's good.
The killer cut their footing on the way down from the window. That way, they could just pull on one side of the rope to retrieve the whole thing.
It was so convincing that I honestly thought it was the actual voice actor for Halara just a little skewed.
The shutters come down under their own weight, so they locked once the rope was collected. I'm surprised you noticed the auto-locking feature. You sure love your shutters, Master.
The rope ladder was collected, then burned in the church incinerator, which only clergy have access to.
That's how we know the mailman must be someone from the clergy.
But one question arose from this. The mailman killings share one more characteristic. All the victims were murdered by strangulation. This piece of information wasn't publicized.
Forced trauma. The strangulation marks were added later.
Which means that it was someone mimicking the mailman. But I already know the identity of the copycat killer. First, the mailman must be someone thin enough to pass through the vent.
Someone with the skills to throw the key with precision.
And someone affiliated with the church.
The priest! You're the mailman!
Got him.
And the copycat is someone who knows that all of the victims were strangled to death.
Because he was the first witness in each case, the person capable of replicating the mailman's crimes is...
You.
The worshipper! You're the copycat criminal!
Got him. And that's 2 killers for the price of 1.
This is the truth of the case!
What's that?
It's the truth. The soul of the true culprit who built this mystery labyrinth.
I see. It looks otherworldly, but there's an ominous air around it.
Thank you, Halara. I was only able to make it this far thanks to you.
I only kept my part of the deal. You made the right choice hiring me. But I will say one thing. You've taken another step toward being a detective. That much is certain. I, Halara Nightmare, acknowledge
I wonder if she's going to, or they, sorry, are going to remember any of this at all.
Really, Halara?
You do?
It's like, I don't know. I think it wouldn't really be all that surprising to me if the second we leave the mystery labyrinth, she doesn't, or they don't. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep doing that. I don't know why in my brain I have, like, made up my mind that Halara is female, but I have somewhere in my mind, and I don't know that to actually be true or not yet, so I shouldn't say that. Yeah. Yeah. Give a character eyelashes and boom, they're female.
Alright, all eyes on Shinigami.
That's how my brain works,
What's
I
about to
suppose.
happen?
Oh, isn't it obvious? It's the moment we've all been waiting for! Time to boot kill the bad
But we don't actually know Halara's gender, and I think that's gonna just be like a recurring thing that we never really actually learn it.
Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. To the final mystery labyrinth.
Father?
Are you all right?
What's going on? What happened to those two?
There's no pulse. They're dead.
Dead? What?
What? What is this?
Yeah, this is what happens to people who, are found guilty within the mystery labyrinth, Halara.
I sure worked hard today. Feels so good to boom kill the murderer.
The mystery labyrinth crumbles when you reap the soul of the true culprit. Then, the cause of the mystery labyrinth's creation pays the price by vanishing with it. I knew this would happen, but it still hurts to see someone die before my eyes. It's like I killed them myself.
Yeah.
No, I did kill them. I killed them with the ruthless blade of the truth.
There, there. Humans boom kill cows and pigs all the time and eat them. You don't feel bad about that, right?
I mean, some people do.
These were the souls of deranged murderers. At least you didn't eat them. If you look at it that way, there's nothing to feel bad about at all.
It's not so simple when it comes to people dying.
Did you people do this? Did you kill them with some kind of poison?
Not poison, but we did kill them. In a way.
Hey, hold on. I have no idea what's going on here. Too much is happening all at once.
We shall talk at headquarters. Follow me there immediately.
Is it just me, or are things more complicated now than before entering the Mystery Labyrinth?
Yeah, probably, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna result in Yako's death, hopefully.
Oh, you want help? Are you going to rely on me again? Oh, fine. I can't say no when you ask for help.
Everyone!
Ah, he came back to life!
Sorry about that. You see, I'm actually the nail.
What?
These are my final words, so I can't lie. I'm the nailman. The worshiper laying there is just a copycat criminal. Search the church for the tools used in each crime. I'm sure you'll find plenty of evidence. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check it out. Thanks!
I didn't know you could do that.
Ah.
But that was a super lazy confession. Will it work?
That should do it. We even have witnesses, so this case is closed.
The priest mumbled something, but I couldn't quite hear him.
Seth, come on, man.
Anyway, everyone here will be taken to Amaterasu Corporation at once.
Seth, be cool.
What?
It wasn't effective at all.
He's so stubborn. This is why I hate authority.
What do we do?
Wait, I hear something.
Huh? What now?
Probably like Tetsuhiko or someone, one of the other master detectives, probably.
A motorbike. Something is heading this way at an alarming speed.
It can't be.
Where is that coming from?
Ooh. Nope, it's,
No.
it's
What are you doing?
Amaterasu Corporation.
Who are you?
You dare speak so carelessly? Who do you think I am?
The
A
hero
Genshin
who
Impact
defends
character?
peace in
I don't know.
all my lord. Director of the Amaterasu Peacekeepers. The Honorable Yomi Hellsmile.
What a name. Dude was like, how do I make the most edgy frickin' name in history?
The Peacekeeper's director?
So he is the head of the Peacekeepers.
Now you know, small fry. Bow down.
Splatoon reference? God damn it. That's such an edgy name, bro.
What are you doing here?
No need to be alarmed. Benevolent Director Yomi is here to help. Oh, excuse me for the late introduction. I am Vice Director of the Peacekeepers, Martina Electra.
All you people have, like, ridiculous names. Including us, but still.
She's my beloved right hand. No one else gets to have her.
Ugh. Ugh, PDA, ugh.
What's with him?
Master, be careful. This Yomi guy is
I am not a
dangerous.
fan of PDA.
Huh?
I've never seen anyone emit such a dangerous aura before.
He's that bad?
So, what brings you here?
Oh, right. I was so focused on my beloved right hand that I completely forgot.
Why are you so focused on your hands? Like, what's so special about your right hand?
As mentioned earlier, Director Yomi is here to help.
That's such a low effort joke, and I almost took it like even further into a direction that I'm sure is pretty obvious. but I decided not to.
I hear you've been troubled by Seth's unreasonable treatment. Is that right?
Huh? Director Yomi, what is going on here? Why am I...
We have discovered you've been receiving sizable kickbacks for facilitating donations meant for the church. We now know why you were so desperate to clean up all the Nailman killings.
Damn, profiting from the killer.
After all, it would be troublesome to lose access to all that money if the priest was arrested as the Nailman.
Wait, please. Director Yomi, I did this under your orders.
Did you say something? Because I didn't hear a thing.
I only did this because you ordered me to.
Seth, you make me sad. I'm the hero and defender of peace in this city. My peacekeepers are proud soldiers of that mission. And yet, you let yourself be corrupted. How could you?
God. Like, already this character is pretty unredeemable.
Seth, for the sake of the peacekeepers and the
Kinda
peace
love it,
of
though.
Kanai Ward, die.
Oh my god.
Taking advantage of your position as a peacekeeper executive is a serious crime. The punishment must be severe.
No, don't kill Seth.
But...
They're gonna kill him.
Yeah, I'm annoyed my own underling would betray me like this. I'm so annoyed, I'd go insane if I didn't toy around with my beloved right hand.
Are the, like, masturbation adjacent, like, sound to this, like, is that intentional? Because it feels intentional.
It's an honor.
He's terrible. Like a lizard cutting off its own tail to survive.
Someone like him is in charge of the Peacekeepers?
Don't look him in the eyes. Don't talk to him either. If possible, don't even breathe the same air as him. Though it's probably too late for that.
Well then, to our shit-for-brains friends playing detective, looks like I have to give you a warning. Know your place in my city and stay there. Follow the rules and don't disturb our peace.
I will disturb everything that I choose to disturb, and you will have to deal with the consequences of me disturbing it.
Or I'll need you to die.
Okay, freaking edgelord. Just leave, please.
In this city, Director Yomi is both the law and the peacekeepers itself. Defying us means you defy law and order. You will receive fitting treatment for such behavior.
Before, you were insignificant specks of dust. But now that you've banded together, you've become an eyesore. Detectives, my ass. My little shits.
Damn.
Wow. That's not very nice.
Let's go, my beloved right hand.
Yes, Director Yomi.
Ugh. I don't think I like them.
Looks like we've been targeted by someone dangerous.
Yeah, thanks to you. One wrong move and it would have been all over. You got that?
Eh.
I'm sorry, but... No buts. None. How did this happen anyway?
Laura, help me out. Please explain what happened. You said you acknowledged me as a detective, didn't you?
What? When did I say that?
Huh?
In the mystery labyrinth.
It's such a shame, Master. Everything that happens in the mystery labyrinth gets forgotten.
Yep, as I expected.
What?
Because no one else is allowed to know about the pact between you and Shinigami.
Elara's memory must have been wiped after entering and leaving the labyrinth. Nothing inside the mystery labyrinth can be taken into the real world. Not even memories.
I imagine there's going to be future cases where, we bring Halara into the mystery labyrinth again, and then Halara's just surprised by everything again, and we have to go through the whole rigmarole of explaining everything, and it's just eventually gonna get really annoying.
Unless you have a contract with yours truly, that is.
For Yuma, that is.
What? I thought Halara and I had finally reached an understanding.
Memories from up until you enter the mystery labyrinth are retained, like the debt you owe for your assignment.
That's awful! Hey, Yuma, are you listening? You better make sure this doesn't happen again.
By the way, Chief, our submarine office is tipping over. Are you sure the Peacekeepers didn't mess with it?
What? Seriously? I have to go back and repair it! Yuma, help me out! Follow me!
It was supposed to be time for you to reveal the solution, but we've ended up in quite the mess.
Huh? Yeah.
This is my first time dealing with the true culprit dying before they could be accused. But I recall how you did your best to try and solve the case.
Huh?
You should be proud.
Halara.
Look, the chief is calling for you. You should go.
Right. Thank you.
Do they remember the incidents of the mystery labyrinth after all? Probably not. They're probably just saying that because of the whole, like, us running around together all day sort of thing.
Are you serious? A Peacekeeper executive was taking bribes from the church?
If Director Yomi said so, it would be considered the truth, even if it isn't.
What about the priest being the nail man?
It's going to be publicly announced as the truth. It appears the priest's strong desire to save others turned him into the nail man. He saw people wishing for revenge as they hammered those nails in the forest, and decided he needed to save them. That was the motive, though it could all be a story made up by the Peacekeepers.
So what about the kitty cat criminal?
You mean the copycat?
Kitty cat.
That one was already publicized as well. They say the copycat did it out of admiration for the real nail man.
And in the end, he felt so much guilt that he poisoned himself? None of this really makes any sense.
That sure didn't look like death by poison to me.
Yeah, it's death by mystery labyrinth.
It was me! I did it along with that detective kneeling in penitence over there.
It would make more sense to assume Yomi killed them somehow. Especially when you consider the timing. He'd do it without batting an eye.
Yomi Hellsmile, the director of the Peacekeepers, the leader of our enemy.
I heard he rode in on a dragon.
No, it was a motorcycle.
From what I've investigated, the Peacekeepers' influence is gaining ground at Amaterasu Corporation. There's some sort of power struggle going on. Seems like they're getting their way internally. I hear that their boss, Yomi, is extraordinarily dangerous.
Extraordinary. So he is very normal? How scary.
Yes! Yes! Yes, I love how like incompetent she is. I love it. Maybe incompetent's not exactly the right word. It's more like I want to say dense, but I don't want to imply that she's stupid. She's just like, because like it's I don't have a right word for this because I don't want to imply that she's stupid, but I want to also like comment on the fact that she just like doesn't have normal people knowledge, you know?
It's only a matter of time until the Peacekeepers gain complete control of the corporation. When that happens, they might outright attack the World Detective Organization.
Perhaps the WDO made its move because they saw the warning signs. If that's the case, it could have something to do with Conai Ward's ultimate secret.
Oh yeah, what's the deal with Conai Ward's ultimate secret? We still know nothing about it, huh?
It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the Nailman incident. I wonder what it could be.
Sheesh, so much to deal with. This sounds exhausting.
Didn't I tell you that from the start?
We have to obey directives from number 1, no matter how difficult they are.
Well, we got some very talented master detectives gathered here. I'm sure it'll be fine. So much. No, everything changes from now on. Yuma, you can take a seat now.
My legs feel numb.
Don't stick your neck out recklessly from now on, for everyone's sake. Got it?
Got it.
Hey, we worked super hard. I'm so stressed I could die. Oh wait, but I can't die.
Do we have a visitor? That's rare. Yuma, can you go get it?
Sure. I see.
Physics, forensics, accounting, encyclopedias. There's a lot of heavy reading.
But
Don't be so sure. Maybe he just put fancy dust jackets on raunchy magazines. No way. I think. How kind of you. I didn't think you'd come check on me, too. But you should probably check on the visitor instead. They might get mad and go home.
Yes.
Right, got it.
I see.
Visitor? Could it be?
Maybe.
You have an idea of who it is? Perhaps it is the kitty cat you mentioned earlier. Not kitty cat. Copycat. Anyway, that guy already committed suicide.
Oh?
Oh, truly. My apologies. I do so often forget things. Great, cool.
Hey,
Visitor. It could be the Peacekeepers.
What do I do?
Oh, they may be after us after what happened today. Yeah, be careful. You're not gonna help?
I don't work for cheap.
I could, but how much can you pay? Right.
Oh.
Someone's here, right? Maybe you should get the door. They might get fed up and go home. I need to talk to everybody and look at everything first, so they're gonna have to wait.
Yuma.
Visitor. Who could it be? Yuma, can you go get it?
Oh!
Oh, sure. Master, you're like a little servant boy. This looks like a map of Conai Ward. The memos posted on it seem to be from the cases Chief worked on.
Huh?
Searching for stray cats, lost property, and a whole bunch of unimportant stuff. There doesn't seem to be any new memos. Has he not taken on cases lately? Of course he hasn't. He's an anxiety-ridden mess. Just like me. Oh, it's the little boy.
Oh, it's you.
My dad is back safe at home. It's all thanks to you. Thank you for helping us.
How much Shien are you gonna pay us? Because I need to pay off my debt, and any amount of Shien that you could give me to give to Halara to start breaking into that debt is probably a good thing.
No, I just... Well, I'm happy for you.
Aw, look at you getting thanked. You were on your knees just a moment ago.
Be quiet.
Oh, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
What is it?
Did someone else die or something?
Will you play catch with me?
Huh.
Huh? Catch? But it's raining.
It's always raining.
Actually, sure. Let's play. The unending rain. My memories still seem like faraway raindrops. My hands still have yet to grasp a single thing. I'm still lost. Is it all right for me to be here? But with the worn baseball gripped in my hand, my heart somehow feels lighter. Why I wanted to be a detective? It could have been for the sake of something so small that it fits in my hand. Maybe I should give myself credit for this small realization. So, for just a bit longer, I think I'll keep pretending to be a detective.
You're not really pretending at this point. I mean, you've solved, like, 2 cases. All right. We're going to save our progress. And this is a good ending point, because it is the end of a chapter. Kind of want to play a bit more, but, like, I do think that this is a good ending point. So, probably play some more in a few days, or, like, potentially tomorrow, maybe. If I do, I'll be live tomorrow with more Rain Code. If I don't, then I don't. Either way, these episodes will be coming out on YouTube, so if you missed the streams and you want to go there, you can go there, or you can obviously just watch the VODs while they're still up on Twitch. But I think my VODs only stay up for like 7 days because I'm just a like member of the platform. I'm not an affiliate. I'm not a partner. So my streams just stay up for 7 days because I don't have any like extra privileges beyond just having an account here. So anyway, I'm gonna go for now. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your nights or whatever. I'm gonna peace out. So bye guys. And if you're not currently following, just leave a follow so you get notified when I go live. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. I'm gonna go. So bye for now. Peace out. All that stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.